Hello, things are heating up in the world, in Middle East especially, and also in Europe. There's geopolitical earthquakes happening everywhere. Everything is heating up, starting with the Israel-Gaza war, going to the Houthis in Yemen, going to Russia and to Ukraine. Middle East braces for chaos as Iran and West square up in the Israel-Gaza war, which spills into the Houthi war, where the US and UK retaliate against the Houthis who attacked cargo ships in the Red Sea in response to Israel going into Gaza, where Israel is now being accused by South Africa in the International Criminal Court for committing genocide on the Palestinian population in the Gaza Strip. This is all happening, and it's big geopolitical movements all across the world with US, UK, Russia, China, Iran on different sides. They're playing on separate and different sides. Now, Iran confirms that Iran will also do retaliatory oil tanker seizures in the Red Sea as it starts seizing some cargo ships in the Red Sea in response to US and UK actions in the area against the Houthis. And also, US is now arming the Kosovo area with weapons against Serbia. So we can see there is big geopolitical earthquakes everywhere where US, UK, Iran, Russia, they're arming their proxies. It doesn't look good, and it might just blow up into a bigger war, as we have already the intense Ukraine-Russia war happening, Israel-Gaza war with Hamas and Hezbollah possibly in Lebanon also is involved now. With the Houthis now being involved, there might be more actors that are going to get involved. There is also China, that's the biggest player in here, which is a bit quiet, but it's the biggest player in the background. That's also playing a big game with the Israel and Gaza war, and it's hoping to support Gaza. And with the Gaza support, China is hoping to bring more South countries, meaning countries in the Middle East, let's say Saudi Arabia, and such countries, to the BRICS, which is the organization that China, Russia, and India are now doing. It's kind of the opponent of the Western NATO or the EU, but it's Russia and China that. And with the BRICS now, it's starting to play a big part in financial area as well, as we have BRICS bank lends 500 million to Indian state. This is some more big news with the BRICS Development Bank now being involved in India. As we move on, now EU Parliament also launches historic push to sanction Hungary. This is another example of how fractures are happening in the US or EU side, where Hungary is now against the European Union for it's standing up against helping Ukraine in the war with Russia, and it's vetoing the financial help that the European Union wants to give to Ukraine in the war with Russia. And the EU members now want to suspend an EU member country president from voting in the European Union. How democratic is that? All this is happening as US is meddling and striking countries in the Middle East, as its border in Texas now is filled with illegal migrants. Hundreds of thousands of migrants are crossing into the US as Texas is struggling to block the crossings. And also now the administration of US President Joe Biden appealed to the country's Supreme Court on Friday after Texas blocked federal Border Patrol officers from accessing Shelby Park, a city property along the Rio Grande River on the frontier with Mexico. As we can see, guys, now there is issues with Texas and the federal government. This is a fracture in the US system itself. And as we go, this also brings up the point that now we're seeing the birth of a new world order as US and EU are fracturing inside. Now we can see China with its BRICS. It's expanding into Saudi Arabia, Iran, and all these other countries that are going into the BRICS, and we're seeing the fracture of the old world now, we can say order, which was headed by the US, and a new world order is emerging now, which is being headed by China.